hello boys and girls, just about to start doing all my shipping and my packing and make a little video for you of what sold over the weekend. But I actually really have to take these photos first, because if I don't do them now, I might be too knackered after to do them. So these are all going to go into variation listings, the books I'm about to take photos of. So I thought you might like to see my process. First thing, of course, always, is to clean the lenses on the phone camera, so that there's no marks or smudgy fingerprints. Now I use an app called Camera Plus to take my photos, because it enables you to have manual control over your settings, unlike if you use the inbuilt iPhone camera, which tries to adapt things for you and colours for you. And even though it is a lot better using the grey background with that Apple inbuilt one, you still get a lot better result using some type of app that will give you manual control. So the first ones I've got here is some vintage Apple fiction. And so my process is I take a photo of the front, I take a photo of the back. Now I zoom right in so that the edges, I don't know whether I'll be able to get you to see it. So say if the book was there, I zoom right in, hang on, get it here. I zoom right in so that the edges of the book are outside my square, because this app gives a little bit of a, it's always more than what you see on the screen. So by doing it that way, I don't have to crop it. So I take a photo of the front, a photo of the back. I then open it up to see if there's any writing in it. And I always figure that seeing as I've already got it opened up, I'm going to take an extra photo. Now if the book is in good condition like this one is, that's all I do. These are for variation listings, of course. So then we'll just do the next one. Now this book has a few condition issues, as you can see. So what I'm actually going to do is just take a photo of that. So this one, for example, has had some staining of some sort. So I'm just going to take a couple of extra photos. I'm going to go to where it stops, so they can sort of see that it gets less. So this particular variation listing is for Apple Fiction paperbacks. Now these ones, I'm doing a separate listing for. They're Apple chillers, so they're sort of more of a thriller book, but they're not like they're for younger kids, not like the point thrillers. Now the next ones I've got, whoops, see if I can get them around here to show you before they fall over. This series of books has various authors in it, but it's the Lions Teen Tracks books. There are a couple of variations on these, but they will all go in the same listing. So that's an earlier one where they did the design like that, and then they changed to that and started putting the tracks. That's got tracks on it too. Then they went to this format, and pretty much that was the format they had for the rest of the time. So most of the books are in that format. I may do these ones in a separate variation, because these are all more like scarier type of thing. I won't say scarier, but you know, kids scarier books. So we'll see. So when I've got a big lot like this, there's a couple of things that are important. And first one is I'm going to see, and I do have quite a few of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I know there's some more. So we'll actually put those ones, I think, in a separate listing, variation listing, which leaves me with this for the teen tracks. My process when I've got a big bundle like this is I put the books in order, so that when I'm taking the photos, when I get to the listing, they'll all be in alphabetical order and I won't have to juggle it around. Look, there's all different ways of doing it. Now when I do a variation listing, what I'll do with these ones is on the main first page, in authors, I'll put all of the authors in there. And then I don't have to worry about putting the authors in the actual separate variation books for the title. So in there, I'm just going to put the title. Some of my earlier listings, I put a lot more information, like the year and PB for paperback and all that sort of stuff, but I don't do any of that anymore, because the idea with the variation listings is to do them as quickly as possible. The only difference will be these two are the same book, but different editions and variations of the covers. People like to collect of the same covers, I've found. So I will list these both separately, but the one thing I will do with these is I will take a photo of the publishing page for each of these, so that'll be an extra photo. And plus, in the title, instead of just putting the chocolate war, I'll put the chocolate war, and after each one I'll put whatever year it was, so that it separates the two. I've sold quite a few of these Lions Teen tracks, and they go for decent money, particularly some of the authors go for even more money than some of the others. So this is one of the ones that I will actually comp the books and put the different prices in for each book. Might have different prices rather than listing the whole lot at the same price. I always like to look inside, and I'll always make sure I take that inside photo, especially if it's got writing in it, even if it's just a name like that, because then the person that gets it can't complain that they didn't know what the book looked like or what condition it was in. This one is called Children of the Dust by Louise Lawrence. I've sold that one a couple of times. Oh, it's a bugger. See what they do in the up shops? They've covered it with texture. Wish they wouldn't do that, but... This one is an ex-library book, so I do take an extra photo or two to show that they've got the stamps and things on them. Now this one's called Sisters and this one's called Phoebe, and if you actually have a look on the back, there's actually 4 books in this, so there's a quartet that would do very well. The Lions Teen Tracks books are actually written about quite sort of serious life issues, I guess. Like there's one of them, I think I might have sold it though, that's about, a friend, they've got the kid in the book's got a friend that dies, and all sorts of, serious issues like that it deals with some of them. So this one's a good one too. So this one's Visions, and this is short stories by all different authors. And there's 19 stories in it, and it says on the back, 19 new stories about relationships, choices, conflicts, and becoming an adult. There's Jason, a hero in his fantasies, but a wimp in real life. Amanda, whose mother is so busy solving problems over the radio she has no time for her own daughter. Chris, whose troubles start when he finds a $100 bill. And Mary, who must find the courage to reveal a terrible secret. So you can sort of see they're about heavier issues. With this one, because it has got quite a few different authors, and because I know this sells for a few dollars more than the others, I'm going to take a picture of the contents. On most vintage paperbacks, if there's like a sticker like this that hasn't got anything on it, or say the original price sticker, I don't try and take those off because I don't want to damage the book, and they're not going to affect the selling of the book. So this one, just when she has given up hope of a steady boyfriend, Caro meets Paul. They fall head over heels in love and become inseparable. When Paul has to go away on holiday, it seems as if they will be parted for an eternity. Then the news comes to Caro. Tragic, shocking and unbelievable. She will never see Paul again. Caro is inconsolable until one night she makes an amazing discovery. Paul hasn't left her. He is still there in the attic where they spent so much time together. Is it her imagination, or has Paul really come back? If Paul is out there somewhere, Caro is determined to find out. So it's basically the girl dealing about grief and loss. So a really good book for kids going through that. And this, as you can see, this young man's obviously had a problem. He's been hit in the eye. You see me flip my phone up every now and again, and that's because if I tilt it too far forward, it thinks that I'm taking a photo sideways. Oops, here's a sticker I forgot. I missed taking off. I always try and make sure I've got all my tools here so that I don't have to keep getting up and down. So if I shift them for any reason, always try and put them back because that's going to save you time. Or if you know that you need this in another room a lot, but you also need it here for the books, then get two. These are actually the best ever sticker removal tools I've found yet. The only trouble with them is because they're small and they only come with this little bit of keychain here, they are easy to lose. I reckon there's 4 around the house somewhere that I've lost. So what I did was I've actually put it on a keyring, and these will be available soon in my store as Grumpy Granny merch. But yeah, they just peels the sticker off, like so easily.